What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Nothing But Trouble. So this was a first time watch for me. I mainly checked it out because of the cast. I mean, it's got a pretty star-studded cast. You got Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, you got John Candy, Demi Moore, like the list goes on. So yeah, I checked this out because of the cast. I did watch a trailer and the trailer didn't really sell me on the movie. I'm like, I don't know if this really looks that great, but I was like, you know what? I don't know. Like, I was just curious. I'm like, I gotta check this out. So, um, after checking it out, I I just, I just think this movie's okay. It's, it's not like bad. Like, it moved at a decent pace. Um, the story was decent. Like, the third act I liked, and there was like a couple funny and memorable sequences that I liked. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff that I just really didn't care for. So yeah, overall, it was just okay. But yeah, it wasn't. I think some people like really, really hate this movie. I didn't outright hate it, but would I watch it again? Probably not. So there you go. Um, Jumping into a plot summary, the movie focuses on this character Chris, played by Chevy Chase, and he's this, really successful, wealthy guy, and he's kind of chatting it up with this woman Diane, played by Demi Moore, and he's gonna drive her to, where is she going? Where? He's gonna drive. She has some destination that she's trying to go to. He's gonna drive her, and also his clients, the Brazilianaires. They come with, and basically, the Brazilianaires are like, okay, well, let's take a little detour, and while they're taking this detour, they go through this little small town, and Chris, he kind of like runs a stop sign. Like, he pretty much, it's not even a rolling stop. He just like turns, like he just keeps going, and then this cop is chasing him, and the cop is his name is, what is his name? Dennis, and he's played by John Candy, and basically this, instead of doing the reasonable thing, and pulling over, stopping. Chris, he's got a BMW. He's just straight whipping. So he's like, you know what? I could get away from this cop. This thing goes 130 miles an hour. So he tries to, just outrun the cop. But basically, Dennis, the cop, he has like nitrous, and he has all these different switches on his car where he can make like roadblocks and stuff. Like, he can control all this stuff in the town. So yeah, basically Chris and Diane and the Brazilianers, they don't get away. They have to go face this judge, who's this 106-year-old man, and he has like a vendetta against bankers. And even though Chris isn't a banker, the judge like thinks he's a banker, and basically this judge, he's extremely harsh. Like, there are these people who were drinking and driving and had some drugs, and he killed them. So basically, for the rest of the movie, the judge is just like holding Chris and his crew captive, and we think like something bad might happen to them. They're trying to escape. There you go. So that is the basic plot summary. Uh, sorry if I like didn't get some of the finer details correct. Like, I didn't know where their destination was, and some of the finer details I didn't get correct. But for the most part, I think that was a serviceable plot summary. All right. I don't know how to think real good. I don't go like, I need to start writing. Like, my page of notes needs to be I need to write like a essay I'm gonna write an in-depth essay. I'm not gonna get on here and freestyle this junk. I'm gonna do in-depth video essays. I don't know why I'm saying that in like a joking voice, because you know, people who do that, like, I watch those videos and I respect those people, but I'm just joking, like, kind of making fun of myself, because yo, couldn't be me. I couldn't be doing all that, like, editing, like, I mean, sometimes I edit stuff, but I don't know, I'm not, like, good at it. It's like, thinking before doing something, like, not me. I'm the freestyle mad scientist, come on. But anyways, jumping into the meat and potatoes of this video here. Okay, first thing I'm gonna get into is, I thought this movie was really tame, and I didn't know what the rating was until after, and I looked at it, I'm like, oh, PG-13, no wonder. And then, you know, I'm reading up on the Wikipedia page as I do. You know, I gotta get that knowledge, you know, in my Lamborghini, in my garage, you know. So I was reading up on the film. It sounds like, ooh, the film, pinkies up. Ooh, I'm so fancy. I'm so fancy over here with my $2 Nightmare on Elm Street shirt. It's a beautiful shirt though. But anyways, it's actually a hoodie. So, but whatever. So, yeah, I was reading up on the Wikipedia page, and I realized there's, like, this movie got cut down to PG-13 by the studio. There was a lot of studio meddling, cause yeah, basically, Dan Aykroyd, he wrote the screenplay. Like, the story is his brother came up with the story, and then Dan Aykroyd, he wrote the screenplay, and he also directed the movie, and it was his directorial debut, and he played two characters. So, and he got like a Razzie for this. Like, his performance was not bad. Like, whether you like the character or not, like, yeah, like, his character had some gross out humor, and, you know, he just played like the characters that had all this like gross makeup on, and like, you could hate the character, like, but his performance, I don't think it was bad. Like, I don't think he deserved that. Like, and he was wearing a lot of hats, you know, so I feel like he got a lot of hate. Like, even if you don't love the movie, like, I feel like he went hard. But anyways, yeah, Dan Aykroyd, he was like directing this, and he wanted like a certain title. He wanted it to be like named after the town in the movie. And yeah, see, I don't even remember the name of the town. I'm so bad with like the nitty gritty fine details, but what are you gonna do? I'm a simpleton. I'm a simple man. I'm a stupid dummy. You know this. Shouts out Smokey. But anyways, it took me a minute to say that. Jeez Louise. But I can't recall stuff. I had to get up early today. I worked. I did like a short day, but I had to get up like mad early. Not mad early, but for me, you know. So, anyways, yeah, like, Dan Aykroyd, he had this vision where he had a specific title in mind, and I guess, you know, he wanted this movie to be gorier, like, actually have quite a few horror elements, and because there are some kill scenes in the movie, but there's like no blood to be seen whatsoever. So he wanted, like, this movie was gonna be rated R, but these meddling studios, Dan Aykroyd would have gotten away with it if it weren't for these meddling studios. I'm looking at you, studios. Sometimes you really grind my gears, and I'm sick and tired. This is to all the studios out there. I'm sick of your shenanigans. You know, act right. Get it together. Get with the program. Shape up. I'm watching you through my camera. But yeah, basically, I thought this movie was really tame. That's something that I did not like about it. So, you know, it's a shame that we didn't get to see like the full vision of this, because how I could describe it is like, it's a comedy. It's not really a horror movie at all. It's a comedy with like some horror seasoning. It's like if you had some, you know, some horror salt, and you poured it on your main dish, like a tad bit. It, like, let's say you have high blood pressure, so you gotta slow down on the sodium. So that's how it felt. Like the horror was just like 2 dabs of salt on the main course of comedy. So I hope that analogy was good. I feel like that was a good analogy. Like, I came in with the high blood pressure analogy. That's not funny. I'm not making fun of that. That's no joke. But it was a good analogy. So, I know how to talk real good sometimes. But anyways, yeah, that's how the movie felt. Like, it was tame. I thought there was going to be more horror. Also, the comedy, even though it was mainly a comedy, I feel like a lot of the comedy in this, a lot of it did not work. A lot of the comedy was just gross out comedy, and I don't know. I like some pretty lowbrow stuff. Sometimes I like gross out comedy, but like in this movie, it was just like, oh, there's a fart joke. Oh, he's got his bedpan. He's gonna throw it on Chevy Chase. It's like, it was just like gross. I'm like, it was like, it wasn't funny. I don't know. So, yeah, the comedy was there was some good comedy which I'm gonna get to later, but mostly the comedy was just not it. So, yeah, like if they went so far in like the comedy direction where there was barely any horror, but the comedy was not funny. So that's a shame. Um, Also, something that I was kind of disappointed with is I feel like the cast was underutilized. Like, you have, like, this is like the best cast. You got Chevy Chase, you got Dan Aykroyd, you got Demi Moore, and you got John Candy, and it's like, I feel like they weren't used to their full potential. Like, I mean, like Demi Moore, she was pretty good. Like, she played like exactly what the part called for. I feel like I said, Dan Aykroyd, he was good, but he was like behind so much makeup in the characters that he played, you couldn't even really tell it was him, which isn't, I mean, that's nothing against his performance. Like, I mean, his character went well with the movie, but yeah, like, I guess he was not underutilized then. I guess you just couldn't really see him, but like, Chevy Chase was really underutilized. Like, he was just, I don't know. Maybe it was like him. Maybe he just phoned it in, or maybe like it was the script. I don't know, but like I just there's so many movies with him that I love, like the original Vacation or Christmas Vacation, where he's on, like he's amped, he's bringing that oomph, that energy, like he's doing his typical shtick. Like in this, seemed like he was like tired or something. Like I don't know, but like maybe he just like it feels like all these people they just did it as like a favor. It was like Dan Aykroyd called him up and he was like he was like buddies with them. He's like, "Yo, can you be in this movie? Like, just do me a favor, do me a solid. Like I'm doing this movie with my brother. Like, can you help me out?" But yeah, John Candy was really underutilized as well. Like he played two characters. He played this cop named Dennis, and then he played the cop's sister, Eldana, and Eldana was mute. So like, and he was mainly playing Eldana, cause like, basically Dennis just like dipped for a while. Like Dennis was not in the movie as much, and Eldana didn't talk. So like, basically we have John Candy. Like it's effing John Candy. Like he kills it every time. And then we're gonna like relegate him to a role where he can't even talk. Like that's what I'm saying. Like this, it's that's kind of a shame too. Like they had this great cast. Like even though the movie was tame, PG-13, and the tone was like a little crazy. Like I feel like if with this cast, if the jokes were a little bit better and the actual like characters were like a little bit better, like this movie would be leaps and bounds better. Like they had, yeah, it had potential. Even though it was weird, like I like weird movies, and some of the weirder stuff in this was kind of cool. But yeah, they just, I don't know, they did not reach the potential that I feel like they could have. Which a lot of it is the studio, so it's not the fault of the people actually involved in making the movie. But anyways, jumping into more positive stuff. There's this sequence where Daniel Baldwin, he plays this character on the internet. His character is called Dealer Number One. So Dealer Number One gets pulled over. He's drinking and driving, and that whole sequence is so funny. He his interaction with Dennis is like just absolutely hilarious. Um, like he's like there's this one part where Dennis is like, "Hey, I think you're drinking and driving. You're gonna have to blow," and he's like, "Hey, you want me to blow you to get out of this ticket? Like I gotta blow," and then like all the girls in his car, they're like, I'll blow you, I'll blow you." Like that was pretty funny. And then once he gets to the judge's house, Dealer One and his crew, they just they confiscate all their belongings, and you get to like see what they had on them. They had like bags of cocaine, and maybe I think they had crack too. They had pills. They had just like an abundance of drugs, because I guess they were drug dealers, but it was just like I initially didn't even really know they were drug dealers. I thought they were just like partying hard because they were already like drinking and driving. I was like, and initially I didn't know if it was cocaine. I thought it was crack. I'm like, yo, is this like a crack party? Like they're getting drinking, like they're getting drunk AF driving. They're smoking crack while doing pills, doing all this at the same time. Like I'm like, these people, you know, you can't hate. Like you gotta respect that level of partying. But yeah, I like that little sequence with them. That was funny. And then they got killed by this like roller coaster ride that spit their bones out. That was pretty cool, even though you didn't get to see like any blood or anything. The rap group Digital Underground was in this, and they like performed a song that was really random, but I like that. And basically like Tupac is in this movie. I didn't even see him at first. Like when Digital Underground, they were like driving a hearse, and they initially get out of the hearse. I didn't see Tupac, but then you see like while they're performing, you see Tupac. Basically, he's just doing like background vocals, but still cool to see him. And yeah, I like their little segment. I feel like a iconic scene in this movie is the dinner scene, and it is gross out humor. But even though I didn't think like all the humor was the best humor ever in that scene, I think that is an iconic scene. Like the judge like gets this whole can of warm Hawaiian punch and puts this like giant metal spout on it, and they're eating like these giant hot dogs, and they're eating like ants on a log and all this random stuff, and the judge just eats the hot dog like he's already disgusting looking. He eats the hot dog like a disgusting slob. He gets it all over his face. So yeah, that was kind of an iconic scene. That I feel like the gross out humor kind of worked more in that scene, but there you go. The effects in this I thought were really good, like all the makeup effects, and there were some good like practical explosions too later on. So yeah, the effects were great. And then yeah, like I feel like the story itself was not bad. Like I said, the movie moved at a decent pace, and I felt like the third act was actually like pretty darn action packed. So yeah, the movie did have some stuff going for it. In terms of a recommendation, even though the movie wasn't terrible and had some positives, I would not recommend Nothing But Trouble. It's just, even though it's okay and it was cool to check out, I don't know. I don't think it's really, personally, I don't think it's worth checking out. There's so many better movies with, every single person in this cast. Like, just watch one of those movies. So yeah, there's my recommendation, and that has been my review of Nothing But Trouble. Thank you all for watching, and peace out.